Hey everybody, welcome back to Jungle Dragons. Today it is a really hot day, so I'm dressed comfortably, as you should be too if you're going to be taking on anything like this. Today I am trying to build a rather large enclosure about this big, and to make it even harder, this enclosure is not built modularly. The roof section is technically, because I can take off the roof fairly easily with 6 screws or something, but when you build something modularly, it means each wall can be freestanding, and you can disassemble it with just a few screws basically. And so this new enclosure I'm going to build entirely modularly, which is it actually doubles the amount of supplies and work. It doubles the job. So if I'm going to do this all in one day, all I'm going to be able to get done, I'm not going to take on more than I think I can even possibly handle, which is going to be the 4 walls. So the 4 walls I think I can get done today, and that's not including the actual covers, the treatment of the wood, attaching any of the hardware fabric, whatever you call this, steel protective covering basically. By the way, if you notice this cool little thing, I am playing out with my brand new mic for some other projects basically, but might as well use it for this project as well. But this is a Rode wireless mic, the Go wireless mic, I think it's called. And yeah, let me know how you like the audio. But yeah, so basically I'm building something like this, but it's going to be optimized for housing up to 8 individual juvenile enclosures. So I'm going to nickname it the Juvenile Hall. And again, it's going to be all modular, which means it's going to be a heck of a lot more work than this one was, because when it's modular, it means every single wall has to be complete by itself, and then you screw it into another piece that's complete by itself. So maybe not doubling all of the, maybe you don't have to double everything you do, but you definitely have a lot more supplies needed and a lot more screws and labor needed. So anyways, I'm already burning daylight. It's a hot day for San Francisco area, and but anyway, let's go ahead and get into the things that you're going to be needing to do this job. There's quite a few things you're going to need, so let's check those things out right now. All right, now we can actually jump into the construction. This part's gonna be boring, so I'm not going to be stepping you through every piece of the way. I will share my my blueprint basically that I drew. It's changed a lot over the last week, because this project, 2 weeks ago, I decided I need to do it, and 2 weeks later, I am building it. So that's actually a pretty short frame of time to do that. Usually I plan a little bit more out in advance, but I really need this space for my juveniles, so I'm getting into it ASAP. Yeah, if you guys have questions, leave comments below, but otherwise, this part's basically going to be a whole lot of work sawing and screwing and this and that. So I'm not going to be narrating over that. I'm just going to let you guys kind of watch me and fast forward in some, like a time-lapse format. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Let me know if you like this kind of format, if you learned anything at all. But yeah, unfortunately, there is simply too much to teach, and I don't think you can teach it well enough in a video. So this kind of construction, because it requires work with saws, if you have no woodworking experience, I just have to give this caveat and say, do yourself a huge favor and take I don't care if it's up to $1,000, you need to take some kind of a woodworking class to be taught very good safety skills with these saws and such, because no matter what I say in a video, it's not hands-on. You're not likely to grasp how important all of the safety tips are when you're working with saws, because you only got 10 fingers and losing any of them sucks so bad. So I've actually personally met 2 or 3 people, at least 2, that have sawed off their fingers doing construction related work. So don't underestimate how important it is to know how to take care of yourself safety wise, because no video on YouTube is going to be able to teach you how to be safe working with a saw, because a saw can be unpredictable. If it hits a certain knot in wood, that wood knot is much denser wood typically than the rest, and it can make your shot jump. And if you're using a skill saw like I am, it is about 10 times more dangerous than using a table saw. And a table saw is just as dangerous too, because when you hit a knot of that kind of density, you will get a jerk, and your hands, if they're not strong, if your hands slip, that can create a jerk. And because your arms are pressing forward, it jerks forward, and then you're gonna get through the knot probably, because your arms are already pressing forward. So you can go leaping forward, and that kind of incident is most likely responsible for the vast majority of accidents with saws, because people weren't thinking about where their fingers should be should it saw through immediately. So you always have to have your fingers in a safe place no matter what. And preferably, if you can use tools to keep your hands completely farther away from the saw. So press on the wood from the outside and such. So anyways, I'm not using a table saw today. I wish I had one, because table saws are actually more easily controlled and safer and precise, all of the above. They're just better in just about every single way. So I don't have that yet, so someday. But anyways, guys, I don't want to waste your time. Let's get into the construction.
Quick reminder, remember to wear eye protection, people.
Guys, it is so hot today. I honestly don't think I'm gonna finish it. It's just like every time I come out here, there's like a heat wave.
So, I'm now finally, I had to take some breaks during the day. It's getting so hot, I just couldn't really work in those conditions. But I'm done with the sides already, and I'm ready to start on the front and back, which are much wider, but about the same difficulty because there's about the same number of pieces of wood. And as you might guess, you know, there's going to be supports needed later on. I add those when I'm all done with the frame, just because you can kind of move things around a little bit better. Not to mention I'm going to have a whole bunch of extra pieces about yay big, and you cut them together at 45-degree angles so that you can put them in the corners like so, and it makes the whole entire structure a lot stronger. So those are really important, as well as the metal brackets that you saw me with. Those are important too, but these go farther for sure. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Unfortunately, wood almost always is warped a certain amount, so even when you do cuts almost perfectly the same for multiple pieces of wood, the warping comes back into play after you cut them, because when I cut them, I line them up and I use clamps to make sure they're all perfectly straight together. But when you release those clamps, the warping can take out more than 1/8 of an inch at times, depending on how severe it is. So sometimes you have to do additional cuts like you saw me do previously, and hopefully that won't play a major role. But this is a larger frame size than the sides here, so I've got a bad feeling that it most likely will play a bigger role.
Number one rule of carpentry, always measure twice, cut once. Second rule of carpentry, always stick to the plan. Once you start improvising a tiny bit here, a tiny bit here, by the time you get to the fourth corner of whatever you're doing, you're off by an inch or more sometimes. So, anyways. Done with the 4 walls.